Dr. Rex's failed super soldier project subjects turned into zombies and infected the world. To stop them, the Anti-Terrorist Alliance established the Aegis Institute to research weapons and a cure for the zombie virus. Andrei's troops were sent to the Lost City to search for the missing scout team in a zombie-infested factory. Andrei's advanced troops arrived in the Lost City. The operation got off to a rocky start as their radios failed and their helicopter was destroyed in a surprise attack. As they regrouped at an abandoned construction site, they realized that the radio jamming was intentional. This meant that there was someone else out there trying to sabotage the mission. They rushed to contact the government, but discovered a strange disturbance first. Searching the area, they only found an unfamiliar radio device. Could it be a trap? A horde of zombies swarmed in because of their radio signal, and the team prepared for what could be their last stand. As he watched his troops fall one by one, Andrei thought it was all over. Just then, a huge cry rang out, causing the zombies to cease their attack and back off. A human voice rang out, calling himself Rex, announcing that he was the mastermind of the zombie outbreak. Furthermore, he claimed he could control the zombies. Why would he tell such an important story to the enemy? That's right, everyone who heard the story was going to die. The zombies returned to finish the job, and the last thing the soldiers saw was Rex laughing at them. Meanwhile, in the Lost City, a new team led by Victor was sent to find Andrei's lost squad. Felix, a signalman, found a notebook on Andrei's corpse detailing all of their discoveries. This gave them the final clue they needed to track down Rex. Just when things were settling down, an alarm at the research facility rang out, and a giant zombie known as Phobos Prototype attacked the intruders. However, the Phobos Prototype was unaware that the troops had been issued much more powerful equipment. After defeating the Phobos, the transport unit left the area with the body samples, while the main search unit entered the lab. They arrived at the lab's massive entrance, but were suddenly interrupted by the radios. Captain Ji-Yoon Choi of the Intelligence Bureau ordered them to evacuate immediately. However, Victor believed this might be their only chance to end the outbreak. He intended to ignore the order, but Captain Ji-Yoon Choi sent him a secret message, asking him to investigate a specific area. Sensing something was up, Victor followed Ji-Yoon Choi's directions and discovered a secret passageway to the heart of the research facility. Realizing that his plans were falling apart, Dr. Rex released his unfinished Siege-type Oberon, Siege-type Phobos, and Dion, and then made his escape. However, his unfinished Oberon and Dion ignored his instructions and attempted to escape from the city. The situation devolved into chaos. The only real roadblock was the Siege-type Phobos, the one creature that still listened to Rex, while it was far more powerful than the Phobos prototype. Remember how the Aegis Institute was working on a special anti-zombie weapon? That weapon made short work of the Siege-type Phobos. Oberon and Dion were captured in the outer construction site, but Oberon was able to escape by observing Dion. Zombies never change. Eventually, the troops gave up on capturing the creature alive. They killed Siege-type Oberon and ended the nightmare of the Lost City. 1 year later, during a period of peace, an island in the Caribbean Sea began reporting a series of disappearances. The government believed it to be a hostage situation caused by terrorists looking for money, but then all communication with the island went silent. This sounds familiar, huh? It's very similar to the events of the Lost City a year ago. The government thought Dr. Rex might be on the island and sent in the LS Special Forces. Alpha, Bravo, and Charlie teams were dispatched along with Dr. Soy, who had experience dealing with Dr. Rex. The Charlie team went in first and was annihilated by the zombies swarming in the island. The Bravo team arrived later and was ambushed by Dion in the woods. Unaware of any of this, the Alpha team reached the center of the island, but there was no sign of the doctor and they returned empty-handed. Then, with a roar that echoed across the island, a giant prototype Dion emerged from the jungle. It flailed with massive arms, but it was weaker than expected and quickly fell. Dr. Soy demanded that it be captured alive for research, but as the Alpha team prepared to secure it, the creature escaped. After pursuing Dion across the island, the Alpha team found it recovering in an underground culvert. It may have been a trap though, because a wave of zombies poured out of the culvert. Alpha team fought them off, but Dion escaped. While it was pretending to recover, it dug a trap in the culvert. A clever move that proved it was not as unintelligent as assumed. While the Alpha team was regrouping, the LS Special Forces captain assembled an additional Delta team to search for Dion. They would use the Z1 decoy, a zombie tracking signal wave machine. It was a perfect plan. The Delta team would activate the decoy to lure Dion away, and the Alpha team would finish it off. But something went wrong. The Delta team was attacked while transporting the decoy and got wiped out. Alpha recovered the decoy and got into the abandoned factory where the plan would be put into motion. They were excited to get the machine running and kill the dreaded Dion. And did they finally confront Dion? Nope. A new zombie, Revenant, was lying in wait for them. It was the same zombie that had wiped out the Delta team. This giant fire-breathing zombie wreaked havoc on the Alpha team, until Dr. Soy provided a crucial piece of information. Destroy the cooling pipes of the abandoned factory and zombies' flames will cease. The soldiers took full advantage of this and put the Revenant down. Just like that, zombie evolution through Z-virus mutations was creating new threats to humanity. Some zombies carried explosives on their shoulders that would explode when they lunged at humans. Others could extend their limbs to attack at range, and others still would inject themselves with strange drugs to augment their powers. Even previous escapees like Dion, infected with the Z-virus from the culvert, was evolving while working to evade Alpha's pursuit. The Alpha team finally caught up to Dion, or his cocoon, inside a large building. As they set C4 everywhere to make a quick kill, the soldiers realized that this was a hidden research facility. Thinking it might hold the key to zombie evolution, Dr. Soy asked them to secure research materials, and the team managed to get out with valuable intel in a hurry. But the delay allowed Dion to evolve before it could be destroyed. The evolved Dion, now known as Angra, attacked with acid breath. The Alpha team struggled to survive while fighter jets called by Dr. Soy arrived, knocking Angra to the ground, where it was killed by the soldiers. And with that, the terrifying incident in the Caribbean ended. As the whole world reeled from the events in the Caribbean, governments and terrorists alike scrambled to shift blame. Dr. Rex's experiments had a butterfly effect, and those blinded by money and power began building new labs and conducting research on the virus. The Vanguard company, a giant mercenary corporation, was no exception. However, a fatal mistake, coupled with a lack of security and poor research discipline, allowed the Z virus to spread through the lab. By the time Norman, the Vanguard company's chief strategist, realized what happened, the researchers had all been turned into zombies. Technic security kept the zombies in, but now any survivors couldn't get out either. The only way out was with the Ospreys in the hangar, so Norman and his men risked their lives to escape, only for traders to make off the Ospreys without them. Norman sent a distress call to the AFC as a last resort, just as the new Titan armor being developed in a nearby research wing of a hangar, activated under the control of its infected pilot, later called the Fallen Titan. Norman and his group barely managed to take down this giant zombie with every weapon at their disposal. While Norman was fighting for his life, the AFC received his transmission and dispatched an elite force led by David Black and Erica. When they could not raise Norman on the radio, they made their way through a zombie-infested town and into a secret passageway to the lab. There, they encountered a Z-virus-infected scorpion at the entrance and battled it out. They managed to kill the scorpion and gain entry, but it cost them dearly in lives, and even Erica suffered from grievous injuries. David Black decided to head to a safe zone to treat the wounded. At this point, Norman sent his remaining AMP suit Heavy Squad to back them up, but the virus-infected AMP suit transformed into a mad mechanic and began attacking them. Erica was kidnapped by another mad mechanic. David Black, enraged by Norman's perceived betrayal, infiltrated the lab to rescue Erica. As he worked his way deeper inside, Black got an urgent call from Erica. "I'm safe inside the panic room, but Norman is infected and has lost his mind." Black's heart sank. Arriving in the panic room, they were greeted by Norman, who had been overwhelmed by the massive defense system. Black calmly took him down and saved Erica. He and his troops secretly backed up the research materials inside the lab. This was their true purpose: to secure the virus research materials. David Black succeeded in rescuing Erica and securing the research, but this story is far from over. There's a huge twist coming that no one could have guessed, so if you want to find out what happens next, please like and subscribe.